Welcome to the Workbench After Hours podcast. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. This is where we talk about the firearms community, shop talk, and everyday life experiences. Welcome back to episode number 24 of the Workbench After Hours podcast. I got my co-host Chris here with me, and next to him, you might recognize his face from episode 16. We got Chris's brother Nathan back with us today.
Hey guys.
So good to have you back.
Thanks to have.
Had to fill in for Hunter last minute because he's not feeling so hot.
Could have done it virtually.
Right.
Jeez.
Right.
His loss, my gain.
But yeah, so good to have you back. And you brought a whiskey. I know you brought it last time you were here. We didn't get a chance. We ended up drinking that Japanese whiskey. But, yeah, it wasn't so good. But what we drinking today?
Well, what we're drinking today is I don't know where you want me to.
Oh, just wherever.
Wherever. The Buffalo Trace Kentucky bourbon whiskey. I've never had it before, so I was like, oh,
nice.
You know, something different. To me, I don't know if you guys have had it before, so.
We got a bottle as a wedding present, and I drank it.
Yeah.
we ended up drinking it. It was good. Of course, we were mixing it because that's before I was able to drink whiskey on the rocks by itself. So it was over a year ago. But yeah, so now that I can drink it on the rocks, it's good.
Yeah.
That way. So, and that Buffalo Trace has been kind of hard to find lately. Like most of the larger liquor stores, I have not seen that at all.
Yeah, I actually found it at like it's a local liquor store. It's the one right up the street from my apartment, Party Time Liquor.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know
if
if you're all familiar with it, but it's like I just ran up there like, oh, let's see if one of these, because I was looking for either this or I think it was called like American Edge or something. I know Hunter mentioned it a few episodes ago.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I'll try this because it's a local, maybe less known, not a lot of people looking for it. So,
nice.
Walked in, the guy's like, oh yeah, it's in this lovely case. Here you go.
Hell yeah. So, anybody do anything at guns this week?
I looked at them.
I was gonna say, yeah, I looked at them because I did a buyback for my paid time off, so I'm looking to get another gun.
Well, hell yeah. Came to the right place.
Yep, of course.
But all right, I can actually give Chris his Glock 19 back because I finally, and it just came out on Wednesday around 5 o'clock ish, that I did the video on the Springfield Hellcat Pro versus a SIG 365 XL. So I know I've been talking about that for the last, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, but finally had time, and I'm like, it was raining. It's been raining here nonstop for like the last 2 days. So I'm like, I can't do anything outside. Hunter's sick, so I went ahead. I'm like, I'm just going to film this video. And with it raining today, I got to reschedule my inspection, so I got to finish editing, and it's nice.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, got to edit while I was on the clock.
Speaking of all the rain, it looks like your neighbor needs to mow his grass.
Yeah, this guy next door, it's like when I let our smaller dog out there, the grass is like, you can't see her because the grass is so long.
Yeah,
Jeez.
when I pulled up, I was like, gosh dang, like, does
Just
he
letting
need
it
help
go.
cutting it? I mean,
Hunter-
I know I have some nights off and such. I
Right.
mean, he could pay me to do it.
Hunter's bringing down the neighborhood.
Jeez. Talking all that smack about my yard.
Right.
Look at his. At least I cut mine.
Well, cool. Yeah. What topic do you want to bring up first? Because our main topic today, that we'll get to eventually, is about military surplus, guns, and how you can get them shipped to your house without being technically a firearms dealer.
I think the only thing I was going to bring up is what's going on in the news.
Yeah.
With the school shooting down in Texas. I'm seeing a lot of posts. Gun control, gun control, gun control. And
Yep.
it's just like, gun control isn't going to stop that. I mean, there is better ways we can do it to protect schools and things like that. But I don't understand why an 18-year-old's going through an elementary school shooting up little kids.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see what comes of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously I mean, that's definitely not what guns are meant to be for. So that's, it really sucks that people do that, and
Yeah.
they just ruin it for everybody basically. And then, that's terrible. But then you have all the politicians and everybody making it political.
Yeah, trying to get their agenda across. In fact, we were watching the news a little bit at work about it, and they talked about the school shooting, and me and the guy I was working with, we were talking about it, and it's like, yeah, it's always a gray area when it comes to gun control and gun violence and things like that. But they had another story come up like right after it, and they were talking about the police and all that, and I was like, before they could mention, I was like, oh, they're going to say that the police shot this person, police brutality, and it's all due to a gun.
Right.
And sure enough, that's what they said, and I was like, oh, man, you guys are becoming predictable. And then just the way the media, it's like, oh, it's an AR, it's an assault rifle, it's a military grade weapon. It's just like, I'm pretty sure an AR is not a military grade weapon.
Right.
It's not an assault rifle. Y'all need to get your facts straight.
It's actually
makes you mad.
Yeah. Like, obviously that stuff shouldn't happen. Something needs to be done with that. But I know everybody just automatically goes to this gun control. Gun control is not the answer. It's actually going to do quite the opposite, because it's going to then prevent the law-abiding citizens from, enjoying guns as a hobby or having the means to protect themselves. Because take the guns away from everybody, guess what? These people that are doing this aren't following the laws anyway.
Yeah.
So this guy's 18. He somehow got a hold of a pistol, which you legally have to be 21 to own a pistol. So he broke the law there. Anybody that is going to do harm is going to find a way to do it. They're not going to follow the laws.
Yep.
And they know that, hey, there's these areas and these parts that, there aren't going to be anybody there with guns. So I'm going to have free reign to
go have pretty
do
much
whatever.
open target practice.
Yeah. So it's gun control is not the answer, but something. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
I think the schools need to have better policies in place to really prevent this. I mean, we got so much technology now at our disposal. Why don't we use it? Why are we still living in the 1990s? It seems like if an active shooter comes in, there's a button you could push, close everything down, lock the whole place up, and then it contains itself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like the shooting that we had here in Olathe.
Yeah.
I mean, all the high schools, and in fact, I think high schools, middle schools, they all have preventative things
Measures.
where people can't enter the building. Like they ask you to show your ID. Okay, cool, you show it up, but then you go straight to the office or the administration offices. Like, there's no way to get into a classroom, or unless they themselves intentionally prop the door open to some sort of area.
Right.
Yeah, I know the schools are getting better about it, but I mean, why do kids need backpacks anymore? Like, they got tablets. You can do all your schoolwork on a tablet. You can get all your books done, all that. That'd prevent really a major people sneaking stuff in that shouldn't be if you don't have metal detectors, which I think all schools at this point need to have a metal detector.
Yeah.
It sucks to say, but I mean, look at us. We go to a concert event or to the airport or to a sporting event. Anymore, you're going to go through some type of metal detector or x-ray.
I think the main argument on that is going to be funding, because there's always cuts being done to schools, and so then they're not going to have
Maybe
money
we
for
should
that.
start cutting these politicians' money and put it
No
where
kidding.
it should go,
Yeah.
into the youth that we want to protect.
I mean, they are the future, right?
Yeah.
I mean, start investing into the future. And I mean, we're talking about politicians who, there is a bill in Senate, and there's 50 senators who aren't doing anything for the last 2 years on it. All right, this all could have been prevented if they had done something.
Yep.
This is all on those 50 people. They all have to go at bed at night knowing that
It's their fault now.
18 kids are dead because of them.
Right.
That, and I also believe teachers should have, if they've got a concealed carry, I think they should be able to allow to have it, them to conceal carry on school premises. I mean, college now you can conceal carry, and you got to follow the guidelines to actual conceal carry, like keeping it on you, and if it's in your backpack, it's can't be in a locker or things like that. But if teachers, they're usually at a desk in their room, they could have it in a lockbox,
Right.
to help protect.
And that's if obviously the teacher's comfortable and has the proper training for that.
Yeah.
But or just having an armed
Yeah.
security officer. Like in high school, we had resource officers that I believe they were armed.
I mean,
of course, our school is pretty
Have
ghetto.
you ever looked at like the breakdown of our taxes, of our like property taxes and stuff, where money
No.
goes? It's quite alarming. Like I think I looked at it a while back, and like 45% of the taxes go to like schools and police and fire. So why can't our tax money go to actually doing something good?
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about it. My money should be going to them to do something good. They keep building schools left and right, make them more secure, make them better for a better environment for kids to actually learn.
I don't know if the microphones are picking this up, but Max is
Whining.
outside this door right here whining. Usually he doesn't do it on the podcast. Like nothing's changed. I don't know why he's being extra needy today. Maybe because he's been bored because it's been raining, so they've been stuck inside. But I'm like, they had a treat. They had a freaking gigantic ice cube that we had left over. It's like, why is he freaking out? We tried to let both of them in here. I'm like, maybe they'll be cool for the podcast. But then they both started walking back behind here. And that's where all the cameras are set up and all the cords are going. It's like, man, it's going to take him to get tangled up in the one cord and then the expensive cameras going down and we're just screwed.
SOL.
Yeah. So, well, we might have to deal with a little bit of whining in the background, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing that's
It's becoming, I don't know. It almost seems like it's the new popular thing to do. And it should not be that way.
And I want to know so anytime there's a shooting that you hear about on the news, that's more than, just a one person that's found dead, it's automatically a mass shooting.
Yeah.
What defines a mass shooting? Is it if two people, three, or it's...
Yeah, it's very vague.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people get, look at Chicago. People are getting shot in Chicago all the time. It's the most dangerous city. And they have the strictest gun control laws, and it obviously doesn't work. So that right there shows you it doesn't work. The guys that are doing the shootings aren't the ones that are following the laws. So we can say it until we're blue in the face, but they don't get it. I
also believe, too, that kids these days, they don't value life like how we were taught,
Right.
Like, and it keeps getting worse and worse, it seems like. And I want to say it's media, but I think it's more than just media. I think it's becoming more of a cultural thing because you don't really anymore. You get in trouble for disciplining your kids, so you got to find other means. And most kids these days are very disrespectful towards adults and stuff. Or where you're raised, you got to be very respectful to your elders. You're always going to get up and like let them have your seat. And kids these days don't care about that.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate just because why not, right?
Yeah.
So I know the reason for this question, in my own opinion, but I'm just going to say and see what you guys say. Why do you need an AR-15? And why do you need 30 plus round magazines? Because that's the argument right there, right?
It is.
So why, I want you guys to answer that question. Why, in your opinion, do you need because you both own one.
Yep.
And you both have the standard capacity mags, which is 30 round magazine. So why do you guys need one?
I got a couple of different answers for that. First one is, let's just say a country does try to invade. Mm-hmm. You got your magazine there for that reason. But two, also, if you do use it for like sports and target practice, it's good to have that larger magazine for you to actually shoot, practice, and then kind of, because 30 rounds is a lot if you really think about it compared to your handguns. It's like, man.
Well, my Glock has a 33 round mag, so.
Well, that's not standard, but it's the everlasting magazine. But like a lot of people train too on like shoot and reloads and things like that. I know you got more grip, and it also balances the weapon, I believe, more.
So the other argument to that is we have a military and a government to protect us. So why do you need to have that?
Have you remember back in the 1800s and stuff when the government went to go help the Indians?
I wasn't around. So.
Oh, I wasn't around, but it's history. But I know they're trying to delete this so people don't know and learn about this. But the government was going to go help an Indian tribe, and they like hand us your guns, we'll protect you and everything, and they turned around and massacred them right there. Like, so do you really trust your government?
Right.
I don't.
Well, not even that. Look at again. We're bringing up. Look at Ukraine.
Yeah.
The government
Is handing out weapons that help protect.
Their military can't defend them, and so they're asking the citizens. Whereas if this happened here, the citizens are already armed. Military doesn't need to do that. So, but again, the likelihood of us ever being attacked because of that is.
I mean, that's what it deters countries is our Second Amendment. So.
Well, the other thing is, there's a movie out in probably the 70s called Red Dawn.
Yep.
It's the same philosophy. We have a great military. They're deployed all over the world. They can't be everywhere at once. They're not the Flash, they're not Superman. They're not going to be next door to you. So you have to learn to protect yourself. So, I mean, that's one of the things I know for me. It's, hey, I'm protecting myself and anybody else who needs protection. And
you should know this about Red Dawn. There's a remake.
There is, with Chris Hemsworth.
I like that one the best.
That one's really good, except when they off Chris Hemsworth at the very end. I'm like, wait a minute here.
Did that happen? I've never seen the original one. Did that happen in the original or no?
I don't think so.
God, yeah, I saw that. I'm like, seriously? Yeah, that pissed me off about that. But that's a great movie. And I think that was in Australia, right? Which, you can't own guns in Australia, and that's why they were invaded.
Yeah, and they also had a mass shooting a couple of years ago, I think, too. Or was it last year?
I don't know.
In the last couple of years, there was a mass shooting in Australia, but yet no one has guns there.
Right.
Interesting.
None of the law-abiding citizens, anyway. To your point, as you say your military can't be everywhere. Kind of what's going on now. We got stuff going on with Russia, Ukraine, China, and Taiwan.
Yep.
And it's like, so if we get into this big, almost like a World War thing, and then people know that, the U.S. is busy over here, they're sending all their stuff over there, that kind of leaves us vulnerable, and that's when you do need your citizens to have guns, right?
There's a reason why Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and not tried to invade us, because they knew every blade of glass an American citizen has a gun.
Yeah, that, and I don't know if their planes back then would have made it here and back in time.
But I know Japan, one of their biggest things, the reason why they bombed Pearl Harbor was they can't invade us.
Okay. So other than that, why else do you need an AR? I mean, it's an assault rifle, so why do you need a...
it's not an assault rifle. Don't get me started on that. We've talked about that many times.
I kind of like playing devil's advocate. It's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. But, I mean... It's good. It's an all-around gun for anything you want it for.
Hold on. Let's define assault rifle.
I don't think that even exists. I don't even know what that means.
Then you can't define it as an assault rifle then.
Right. But that's
that's because they're stupid and they think that's what AR stands for.
That's what CNN calls it. So it's got to be an assault rifle, right?
Yeah, sure.
CNN is it. And I hope everybody realizes this. CNN, the only reason they're around is because of the O.J. Simpson trial.
Nice.
They're the only. That's the only reason, because they actually got the rights to that trial. And at the time, when you think about it, and I'm dating myself when I do this, that was back in the 90s. There was no Fox News. There was no other news other than CNN. So they got all the rights to that trial, and they were able to, put it out in the media. That's why we have Fox News now. That's why we have all these other huge worldly news broadcasts.
He says he's dating himself. Does he not realize we're older than him?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, you're dating yourself.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at us.
Yeah. Some people don't know how old I am.
You don't have the gray hair like we do.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
And Chris has got like a front faux hawk thing going on.
So I was wearing a hat all day.
It's definitely something about Mary-ish right now.
Yeah. Good thing I get a haircut tomorrow. Get it all trimmed up.
I'm actually getting one tomorrow too. I was supposed to get one Monday, but she canceled because she was sick. You going to Scissors and Scotch?
Nope, I'm not.
I was gonna say, because Hunter had one too, and he got
canceled too.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to go there. It's gonna be his first time. I love that place. It's more expensive, but
everywhere's getting expensive.
Yeah, I know, but it's I like it so much better than like a Great Clips or anything like that. It's all adults for the most part. People do bring their kids, but it's geared towards adults.
Yeah,
you get your hair wash, which I really could care less about. But afterwards, they have a full bar, and you go. Your price includes one drink, and it's not like, I mean, yeah, you can get a beer, but it also includes, I always get an old fashioned.
Yeah.
And I mean, they don't stiff on the alcohol there, so I like it. It's always having a haircut, feel nice, clean, smell good, go have a drink.
Yep.
I like it. It's worth the extra money to me, and not having to sit in a Great Clips.
Yeah.
That's fun,
No
right?
offense to people that do, but
I was gonna say I go to Sports Clips. You know, I get the hot steam towel,
yeah.
and then I get the massage afterwards. Oh, it feels so good.
I used to go there until the pandemic, and then I couldn't get in, so then I had to try Scissors and Scotch.
I might have to try that.
I like that place because they do have sports on, and usually some pretty good looking girls cutting your hair, but you don't have a bar, so you don't get to go have a drink afterwards.
That's true. But then I could also go home and drink. So
Yeah, but you're not going to go home and make an old fashioned.
That's true.
I could.
You could, but you're not.
Oh, I probably won't.
No, you're just going to do whiskey on the rocks. Whatever you
No,
got.
just whiskey on the rocks, or just drink it straight out of the bottle.
I'm not there yet. I got to have it cold.
Okay.
You always see people in the movies that wake up out, like they wake up the next day, obviously they're hungover, and they grab like a bottle of beer that's been sitting out all night and just drink it. I'm like, oh.
That, or I watch them all the time. Pull a bottle of whiskey first thing in the morning. Take a couple swigs of it.
Well,
like,
I do
geez.
that, don't you?
I wish I could.
I put it on ice first, though, but yeah.
No, they just stick it.
That's the only way I get out of bed.
That's how I piss excellence, as Joe would say.
Right? People doing that with vodka, like they just drink that.
I don't. I can't do
That is
vodka.
no.
It's
That
rubbing
is,
alcohol anymore.
it is
Yeah.
not something I want to drink straight.
Nope. Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, I think we're going to move on from that subject because
Yeah, it's still a little touchy out there.
yeah.
But if anybody has comments about it or
sensitive
ideas,
sensitivity out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we're not, we would like to have the conversation. We're not trying to change anybody's opinion or mind or anything, but just getting the right information out there, and that it's not all about gun control fixing everything. It's something else needs to be done.
yeah,
It's just, what is that?
yep,
Yeah, because what we have right now obviously is not working.
Yeah.
It's for me being a restaurant manager, it's something like, okay, if I have something in place, it's not working, I don't know about it, I can't fix it, right? But if we know about it, and now we're like, okay, so how do we fix this? But there's nothing actually being said about it.
Right. And the only option from a certain political party standpoint is to ban guns. And that's the only option. That's the only way to fix it.
Yeah,
but it's
you
been
can't do
proven
that.
it's not going to happen.
Yep.
And that's why it keeps getting stalled in the Senate, because luckily we got another party that's like, no, hey, this is not
we got
fixed.
guns when you need them.
And we always hear about like expand background checks. As a gun dealer, I have no idea what that means, because everything, when I do a background check on you, it goes to the FBI. They run all their stuff, and I don't know if it would, like, what else they would add to it.
Yeah.
What else they're going to check. Obviously, if you are a kid that just turned 18,
You're not going to have anything on you.
yeah, unless you have a record, but most, I don't know if this guy did or not. So say he didn't, he could still legally purchase that rifle or whatever. So it's hard to tell who's going to go do what. Yeah, because a lot of these people don't have prior records.
Yep.
And so how do you...
And if they're going to do mental health, how would they do that? That'd be the
Yeah.
craziest thing. Like, how do you judge someone if they got mental health issues?
Yeah,
That'd be a really, because they could give you a bunch of random questions, and if you have a strong belief in something, oh, nope, you can't because of your belief system. Or
That's where they tried the red flag law thing. And
yeah, that didn't work.
that's because it could just be anybody. Like, oh, hey, he's crazy.
Yeah,
And just because that guy doesn't like you, and
yeah.
then they come take all your guns, and
Yeah.
for no reason.
Come breaking down my door without a warrant.
Right.
We're gonna have issues.
But
Yeah.
so the fact that we can't own guns, what's on your radar?
What's on my radar?
What's on your radar? I know you said you were wanting to get another one.
Yeah, I'm kind of between just like a hunting rifle or kind of like a revolver. I've always liked those.
Yeah, that's one that you have to have in your collection.
Yeah,
I don't. Well, technically I do. It's the Nagant Revolver, 1912. Technically a revolver, but you need a revolver in your collection. Hunting rifle. Are you gonna hunt?
I'm gonna try
Or you gonna
to.
be like Chris that always talks about it and never does it?
I went and got my hunter. At least I went and got my hunter safety course done.
Yeah.
When I have free time, let's just say that when I have more free time, maybe.
That's the hardest part is that the time.
Yeah.
Especially when your company doesn't allow you to take time off.
Yep. That's why you move and do something else. Hey, Farmers is hiring, by the way.
Really?
But yeah. Well, what? So if you were to hunt, what would it be? Would you hunt deer?
Probably
Pheasants?
Deer for sure. You know, I know me and him both grow up on kind of deer jerky.
I've had it once, and it was good.
It's good. Like you have your regular beef jerky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good too.
It's good. But deer jerky, just for some reason, like the meat tastes completely different. It's like, I mean, the only way that I could honestly describe it's like having a ribeye steak versus a filet mignon. Two entirely different cuts, but one tastes better than the other by far.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yep. Well, and I guess kind of on that topic, because I've been trying to get Chris to take me on his boat to fish. He sold his boat.
Yep, I sold the boat.
I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this boat on his page. I'm like, well, I've never seen his boat because he's never taken me out on it fishing. And
don't feel bad. He didn't do it for me either.
I saw this boat. I'm like, well, that's not his truck that it's hooked to. Like, what, is he selling this for somebody or is that his boat? And it turns out it was his boat. He sold it like real quick.
Yeah, it went really fast.
So there goes our hopes of going on a boat ride anytime soon.
Yeah. I wanted, well, the reason
we could go to Springfield to ride the Ducks.
No.
Get that reopened.
The reason I sold it is I wanted to get a bigger boat, and I came across one on Facebook Marketplace, and it was the exact what I wanted and everything, and it was listed for $1,000. So I emailed the person, like, hey, I'm interested. What's the next step? Where are you located? Things like that. And she gave me this whole sob story about this. It used to be her son's boat. He passed away tragically in a bike accident. And every time she looks at it, it reminds her of him. And so I was like, okay. She's like, if we sell it, we're going to do it through eBay protection. I was like, okay, cool. I like that idea. I was like, then I can use PayPal so that I'm double coverage. Mm-hmm. And I was like, she's like, just give me your information so I can get it to eBay and they'll contact you in the next 12 hours. So I was like, all right, cool. Never heard anything. I was like, oh God, no. And I tried emailing them again and again. I've done like 3 emails now. And the last email is like, you've got like 24 hours to figure out what's going on, or I'm reporting you, this email address, and your Facebook.
Right.
Because that's a scam. And I was like,
and it sounded like a scam because I've had several things like that. Like you see a car or a truck that's in really good shape on like at a super stupid cheap price, and it's kind of the same sob story.
Yep.
Oh, so they died, but I'm selling it for this person because she can't do it, or I'm getting ready to get deployed or whatever. So you're gonna deal with this other person, and then if you may never hear back from them, but then if you pay for it, luckily you didn't pay for it.
Pay anything. But
it's like, there's so many scams out there. Again, if it's too good to be true.
Yeah, it usually is.
Because you blue booked that boat for $10,000.
Yeah, I blue booked it because of or NADA, same thing. And it was about $10,000. And I was like, all right, I'll sell my boat and I'll turn around and I'll get this and I'll be set because it's the size I want, it's the motor I want, it's everything.
Yeah.
And I put my boat up and it was gone like the next day.
Yeah, when you said it's blue books for $10,000 and they were going to ship it from Texas to here all for $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure?
Well, I double checked. Like I even emailed the person because I guess her sister put it up for her on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so I contacted the sister. She's like, yes, it's $1,000. I was like, okay. She's like, here's the email address. This is my sister's boat. I'm just trying to help her sell it. I was like, okay, cool. And I emailed the sister. It's like, hey, I sold your boat for sale for $1,000. I want to make sure that's correct. I was like, well, what all does it need? How's the engine? Has it been maintained? Has it been sitting outside? Trying to get as much information as I can because I don't want a boat with a blown engine.
Maybe they sold it.
Yeah, maybe.
And they're just not talking to anybody about it.
Maybe, but
probably not though.
Yeah.
That I kind of did nothing like that. Like, so one of the first few podcasts we tried that Blanton's whiskey, right?
Yep.
Hunter got that for me for my birthday from his father-in-law, who's able to get some really good. I've been wanting some. Can't find it here, but I've been looking online, and usually you can find it online, but they're like really expensive. And so I found, I just happened to do research, like search for it again, and this one place showed up. Like the first result was like some superstore kind of a place, and they had it for a normal retail price. It was like $70. I'm like, hell yeah, on sale for $70. And I looked up the store, it looked legit. So I paid through PayPal, and then I got like the email. It says, hey, we'll notify you when this ships. And it was kind of a vague, like there wasn't
no
really
tracking number, no nothing.
No tracking number, no, like it was very vague email. And that's when I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, I'll give it a few days. Gave it a few days, nothing. And it was like, when I saw the charge on my PayPal, it was something very weird, like a Leanne with like a bunch of N's company. I'm like, that's not what this store name was called. I'm like, give it a couple more days and nothing. So then I luckily filed the thing through PayPal where you
get your money.
Yeah, I got my money back, but I'm like, God.
It just makes you mad. I was like, thank God I didn't get to that point.
Yeah.
Because I would have been mad, but I always use PayPal just for that reason right there. I was like, PayPal covers you, and they can always get your money back.
And it sucks for me as a gun business because it's a high-risk business. So PayPal technically won't let me do business through them because apparently gun business is high risk, and most banks, and it was so hard for me to find a bank that I can get and, like a credit card or something for the business because nobody likes the gun industry and they're high risk. It's like, why is it high risk? Like, I'm getting the money for this product. Like, I'm not like, I don't know. It's weird. But, and then trying to get like, so PayPal wouldn't let me do it. So then I tried Square doesn't like it. Like all these like easy, famous credit card processing companies couldn't apply for them. So luckily there's some that are dedicated to
gun businesses
or higher risk labeled businesses. So I was able to get around that. But yeah, it's when I was setting up my checking account for the business at US Bank, you have to go in there and talk to the manager, and she's like, well, what are you selling? I'm like, well, I'm going to sell firearms and accessories and stuff like that. And she's like, why would you want to do that? Like, and she was like thrown aback by it. I'm like, well, I'm not an international arms dealer like you're probably thinking. And then another bank manager came over and was like, what? Why? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, why would you want to do that? I'm like, why not? It's like, there's tons of gun businesses out there. Like, I want to make money, and
it's a good little side gig.
Yeah. And they were just like throwing it back that I would want to be in a gun business. I'm like,
they're crazy.
Okay.
It's not like you were asking for a business loan, I mean, it's based off of what you're saying. It almost sounded like they were like, I don't know if we're going to give you this business loan or not.
I have not been able to successfully get a business loan.
Yeah.
So I have to put everything on a credit card, which sucks because high interest, and it's, that's why it's like, I don't make any money from the side business, but I at least feed my hobby. It sucked.
Jeez. Yeah, that was the whole reason why I sold the boat, and it went really quick. I was quite shocked.
Well, you need to find another boat.
Yeah.
Maybe like a cooler boat. That's not like a bass boat, like something that we could like take some jet skis on, or not jet skis, but like ski behind.
Yeah, I was looking at.
You need a speedboat.
No, I don't.
What?
No.
You need to have at least have a little bit of a midlife crisis and go buy one.
No.
I don't think his lovely old wife would be okay.
He has
with
permission to buy a brand new boat.
I did. I don't know if I still do.
After
I got rid of this one, she's like, I don't think you need another boat for a couple more years. Like,
So I remember you were a couple years ago. We ran into each other at Bass Pro, and you're like, I have permission for my wife to buy a brand new boat, like a brand new boat.
Yeah,
and we were looking at the ones that you wanted to. They didn't have them in stock or something happened, but they were nice big boats.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, if you have permission from your wife, why don't you freaking pulling the trigger on this?
Man, boats. I don't know.
Bad investment. But.
They kind of are, but they're so much fun. I like being out in the water. I just don't. Thing is, I don't have time to go out like I want to.
as a friend of a guy that would potentially own a boat, I want you to own a boat.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm gonna own a boat.
I don't have to deal with it. I just get to go out and have fun.
I will own a boat again. I will say that.
But not like a little boat. Like you got to have like.
I'm like at least. I want a 19 foot
boat.
I've never skied behind a boat. I want to try it.
You've never done it?
No, I've never done it.
You ever done like tubing?
No.
Where you're in a big
I've
tube?
never been pulled behind a boat.
I could pull with a bass boat. I can
pull
pull you with a tube.
I was when I was a kid, but I don't remember it. But since I can remember, I have not been pulled behind a boat. That's what sucks wearing glasses because it's like.
Yeah.
I've been scared to do it if I ever get because.
Wear contacts.
If I don't like wearing contacts.
Oh, that's what.
But if I'm like wearing these, or even if I'm wearing sunglasses, if you get thrown off,
they go bye bye.
Yeah, and then I'm not gonna be able to see. I'm gonna be like in the middle of the lake, like I can't see.
How are you gonna get on a tube when you get seasick, or go water?
You're going at a faster pace, and you're not getting this. You're not getting this slow.
Yeah, you will.
At least we'd be in a lake and not like the ocean, and it'd be easy to like get off the lake.
Okay.
But when we were deep sea fishing, when we first got on, going at a steady pace, the boat's not really rocking like crazy in normal water, without like, it wasn't a high tide or anything. Like it wasn't a rough tide or whatever you call it. So going on a boat when you're going, it's cruising along, not going up and down like crazy.
So what happens?
I'm fine with that.
So what happens when you guys just want to sit there and drink, and you're gonna be rocking?
Yeah. But no, as soon as we stopped the boat, we got to one of the spots we were at. You're out in the middle of the ocean, and then you're just sitting there, just going with the waves, which when you're out in the ocean, get pretty big.
That's nice. It's rocking you to sleep.
It's cool. I liked it. Awesome. It was like really, really early in the morning. Beautiful out. About 10 minutes into that, I was fishing.
You were chumming the water for him?
I was fishing, and I had to hand my pole off to my little nephew. I'm like, dude, you got to take this. Like, I went and threw up. And it's like, once it started.
Didn't stop for you?
Didn't stop. Even once we started up moving again, and it sucks because you only have so much in you to
you're just
throw
chumming,
up.
You're just chumming the water to try to get more bait and more fish. That's what you're doing.
It got to the point to where I'm like, all right, I'm over this. Like, I have to drink water in order to have something to throw up. And once we were done, we were out there freaking all day. But once we were done, he decided that, instead of going and filleting the fish at the dock or wherever, we're just going to park right here in the middle of the fucking ocean and do it. And we caught a lot of fish that day. It was a private boat that we rented. So we caught a bunch of like sea bass and a bunch of other things. And it's cool because we got to bring it all home. He filleted it for us. We brought it home and cooked it. Well, my mom and aunt cooked it. But I'm sitting there like, all right, there's all these fish that he's got to freaking fillet, and I'm miserable. So we finally got off the boat, and once I hit land, I thought I would be fine, but no. Through the entire next day, I felt like I was still moving on water.
You had your sea legs.
It sucked. Like I had to lay down because obviously being out in the sun.
I
all day,
want you to go on Joe's boat first just to see how you are.
I can do a pontoon.
I would say go on Joe's first.
I can do a pontoon.
That'll tell me real quick if I can take you out on another boat.
If it's on a lake, it's fine.
Well, you think that some of these lakes get some pretty good waves.
Okay, so if I throw up, then take me back.
Oh god!
But it's not like a lot of the lakes around here that you're going to go to aren't. We're not going to be doing. Like I've been on a jet ski. I'm fine on a jet ski.
Hillsdale gets choppy.
I think on a jet ski it's different because you're not like it's.
Yeah, you're not really. I don't know. But yeah, I will own a boat again eventually.
I would say the next time you go, you should try like motion sickness bands.
I've tried everything. Yeah. I've tried those things. I've tried the actual Dramamine pills or whatever.
Have you tried dunking your head in the water that you're in?
No, because there was puke in it.
Okay. Well, before you go out in like the ocean again, dunk your head in it, so then your equilibrium kind of adjusts to it.
If you're on a big boat, how are you going to do that?
Go over when you're getting on right before the dock, to get onto the boat, dunk your head in it.
Yeah, but I mean, the dock is like kind of high up from the water.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like something I'd want to do.
Or do it right before you get on the
Can I
dock.
just
where
dunk it
it's-
in like a bucket of water?
No, you it has to be the water that you're going to be on.
Is this proven, or is this just something that
Been proven.
is a wives' tale?
times.
A couple times.
Coming from the Navy guy, I would take his word for it.
Yeah, but
Now,
on a Navy ship,
he
you can't just go
wasn't-
dunk
if
your
he-
head.
I mean, if he wasn't, because he's my brother, I'd be like, no, sorry. But because he's the Navy guy, okay.
I would try it.
I would
Have
try
you
Try
it.
it next time.
Have you seen that work?
I have on YouTube
So
a
if you
couple times.
on YouTube, the Navy guy who
Everything
was on
I
a
need.
boat.
That
Didn't
and
see anybody on the boat do
it's
it.
kind of like an old wise tale. Okay?
That's what- yeah.
So I usually trust those because they majority of the time they work.
It's kind of like that story about the boat that you were going to buy. It sounds too good to be true. Like if I could just dunk my head in the water.
I've heard a lot of people with that wise tale though say just dunk your head in the water. Like if you're out in the ocean, dunk your head in the water and you'll be fine. It fixes your problem.
How long do you have to dunk your head?
Like
in
you
the-
just have to dunk your head, like fully submerge your head in the freaking water and be good.
like just for a split second.
Yeah.
I don't see how that would help.
Like if it gets, I think it's something to do with the pressure too in your ears. I think that has something to do with it because that's where your equilibrium is all within your ears.
Hmm.
So make sure you get it in your ears and then out.
You get swimmer's ear a lot?
Like water stuck in my ear when I go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's probably it.
maybe. So what if I'm on the boat and I just stick my head, like take the ocean water in a bucket and just stick my
Try
head in
that,
that
yeah.
bucket?
Do that. That'll work.
We'll see.
Same concept, I
Yeah.
would believe.
I don't think
Next
I'll
time you're
ever
in
go
the
deep
ocean,
sea
let's try
fishing again, but
Well, that could be a guy's trip. Let's go deep sea fishing.
no. I'll stay back and do something. I don't know.
I got to do.
It's like moving a gun safe. I think I have something going on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun. Like it was really fun. But that part just made it. To
I
where
will
it's not
buy.
worth it.
I will buy a boat again though.
And I'm telling you, I will be fine on the lakes that are around here.
Okay.
I think.
Well, that boat prices right now are really high. I'm gonna wait for them to come down.
Like a
little bit.
pontoon boat. I've been on a pontoon boat.
Yeah.
I was fine. Of course, it was raining, so I don't know if that helped.
Oh no.
Water.
Right.
I'm thinking
On your
also.
head.
I'm thinking also too. In the next couple of years, you're probably gonna see a lot of the market get flooded too with a bunch of boats.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be getting them pretty
Good thing
cheap.
you're on a boat.
I want a jet ski, really bad,
Then get one.
but I don't have like.
Your little Ranger will pull it.
Well, yeah, that's not the problem. It's like, but I don't have like a spot to go.
You can go to any lake and use it.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go by myself, and I don't know anybody else with a. Alan has one, but it's at their lake.
You have a wife.
She will not get on one.
What?
Apparently, when she was like in high school or something, some guy friends took them out and purposely tried to throw them off the back of it,
Okay.
and so she's just
That's
terrified.
some guy from
Yep.
forever ago.
Oh, trust me, she went with me when I tried to get her on the jet ski. I'm like, I will drive as slow as you want me to. She
How about you
refused.
have her drive it?
She won't. She refused.
Really?
Yep. She will. And once Maria decided not to do something, she's not going to do it.
Sounds like somebody else I know.
Yeah. I think we're all kind of like that. But yeah, I mean, I want one, but I got to find somebody else or a place to, like, if you got a boat, I would take that jet ski out there with you. But
Yeah.
like, I don't have an area, like a,
Yeah, I say give it a couple of years and then we're going to look because I think the market's going to get flooded with it before too long because everyone during COVID went out and bought a boat and a watercraft of some sort and they're going to get tired of making that payment and not using it and then they're going to try to sell it.
you see how I said wait a couple years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the same guy that I've been telling to get this neat microphone for his wife. And he comes over today and he's like, how much can I buy yours for? I'm like, what do you mean? I just bought it and I like it. And he's like, well, I don't want to wait for shipping. I'm like, it's Amazon. It's 2 days. He's like, I don't want to wait. So you don't want to wait for a microphone to come in 2 days that you're probably not even going to use. And I got to wait a couple years for a jet ski. Man.
Well, you could always get your jet ski.
Yeah, you can
now,
always get a jet
you know?
ski. Well, I'm going to get my boat in a couple of years.
Well, I'm going to wait. Get a boat sooner.
We'll see.
I was really looking forward to going out on your boat to
Well, that
fish.
too, and I want a newer boat because it's a 4-stroke engines, so it's better for starting. The 2 strokes, you got to add oil to them, and I'm not a big fan of that. So, need any more ice?
Anybody else need ice?
I'm good.
Good.
Okay.
So,
I turned my microphone off, hoping that it wouldn't pick up all the ice dropping in there.
So
Past the whiskey. You might as well fill your glass up.
I will.
You ate before we started, so
Yeah, I know.
you're fine.
Had to get a wife's new car today, so
Yeah, so
didn't
you
get time to eat.
So you should be drinking because
Yeah,
you signed your life away,
not yet.
or you signed hers away anyway.
Mine.
All right, so we should probably move on to our main topic here real quick, and that is military surplus guns, mostly rifles, and how to get a gun delivered to your house, because you could get a gun delivered to your house. You just
Really?
have the right license.
I mean, I would like to have that option.
Right. So it's not as
Common.
easy now as it was when I did it, because I started getting the guns 2013, 2014, 15 is when I really started collecting, and that's when you could buy mil-serp rifles for pretty cheap, mainly Mosin Nagants, because those were, when I first started buying those, they were $100. Like you could buy them like in Cabela's for like 130, but you can find them online. Classic Firearms had some for $100. Then they started creeping up to like 110, 20, like that. So you also used to be able to buy them by the crate. It was a little bit cheaper, but then you had the trucking with shipping, and I am kicking myself now for not doing that, because now if anybody knows anything about Mosin Nagants, you really can't find them like you used to, and if you do find them, they're quadruple the price. So they went from being $99 to you can't find one generally for under $400 now.
Yeah.
And I have a crate over here that they came in. Unfortunately, I bought it empty, but they come with, I think, 20 rifles, and I wanted to buy it because I had the proper license to do so. I just lived in an apartment and didn't have anywhere to store it. I'm like, the problem is once it gets delivered, I lived on the 3rd story.
Ooh.
I'm like, how am I going to, I had a garage, but I'm like, I don't want to put it out in that garage because the weather.
Right.
So I didn't do it. It was like it's going to be like $3,400, but for 20 rifles and a crate, and it comes with all the bayonets and all the accessories and stuff like that. So I kicked myself for not doing that.
Yeah.
Because Mike and I wanted to do that, and because we were kind of like, because they come in cosmoline. So we're like, well, we'll clean them up, refinish some of them, and then sell them, make a profit, right? Sounds good. But they dried up pretty quick. So
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that was one of the early guns that I was looking at, like a long time ago. And then I started doing my research. There's a Iraq 88.
Yep.
They did the torture test on that.
Oh, did they?
They did, and it was freaking hilarious.
I haven't seen the torture test on the Mosins.
You should. It's pretty good. They put like an oversized round into it, and it completely got the bolt action stuck. And I was just like, huh. Interesting.
No, I found his channel because of the Mosins, because they come in cosmoline. I'm like, I needed to learn how to properly clean this, and that's back when he was just starting his channel, and I learned how to do it from him, and I've been following him ever since. But yeah, so if you want to potentially have guns delivered to your house and not be a gun dealer, the option is to get your Curio and Relics license. It's a CNR, it's a type 3. So what you can do is any gun, a Curio and Relic, for it to meet that definition, has to be from whatever today's date is, or date, whenever you're going to buy that, has to be 50 years old or older. So you're not going to be able to find like a Glock. You're not going to be able to get Glocks or anything modern. It's more for collector items like Mosins or M1 Garand, something from
muskets.
Yeah. Actually, a musket you don't need a
Really?
license for. If it's listed as an antique, you don't need a license. Anybody can have that shipped to their house, because at that point it's likely not either going to fire, or the ammunition for it you can't find, or it's so old it's like good luck,
Obsolete.
Yeah, most of those don't even have serial numbers because they didn't serialize them back then. So if it's an antique gun, you can have it shipped to your house, whoever you are, but the likelihood of that working is slim to none. Or you could try to fix it, but I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
But so, and when I started getting these guns and started collecting, several Mosins, I'm like, every time I have it sent somewhere, I had to pay $25 for a transfer, which isn't bad because I charge $20 now, but it's another cost you have to add on. And I'm like, started looking around. I'm like, it says Cnr Eligible. I'm like, what the hell is that? What does that mean when you're buying online? And I looked it up and I'm like, yeah, so if you can get a CNR license as an individual, like I did, and then you can buy anything that's considered a CNR gun and have it shipped to your house. You have to keep a log, kind of like a gun dealer does. Mm-hmm. And so you comes to you, whoever you buy it from sends you a copy of their license, and you have to log it in, the model, manufacturer, serial number, stuff like that. If it's on there, you log that into your logbook, where you got it from. So say if you bought one from Classic Firearms, you say Classic Firearms, put their FFL number in there, and when you got it. And then if you ever sell it, you have to say who you sell it to and stuff like that. You can't deal firearms with that license, though. So you can't buy them and sell them to make a profit. It's basically to collect. Yeah. So if you end up selling them to make money, then you have to get a dealer's license. There's no set number on how many you can sell. Really, it's vague. But for the most part, it's to buy and collect. So if you have that license, then it looks like an FFL license, like a normal dealer, but it says Curio, Relics, and it says like Type 3 on top. And, you just send that to like Classic Firearms. And once they have that license on file, the CNR gun that you like pops up. Cool. Order it. Bam. Here's my license. It's on file. Shipped directly to your house. It's awesome.
Nice.
So, and I did pull up a website. That's not it. That is my screen that I was sharing, but that's GarageBand. This is it. So this is actually on ATF's website where it talks about that and the process to get your CNR license. It's relatively simple. Not a whole lot to it. You do have to fill out an application, which is a little more involved than the one that you do for a gun. And you can either put it under your personal name, put it under a business name and stuff like that, but generally you want to put it under your personal name because you're not going to be dealing, because then otherwise you have to get a dealer's license. So I put it under my name, just Keith White, and it asks you all these questions, and you got to do the background stuff. You do have to get a fingerprint card. They mail you one, and then you go to like your sheriff station, get the fingerprints, and then you send a copy of the form and fingerprints to them, and then you also have to give one to your sheriff's office. And then I forget what the cost is. I don't know if it's changed, but it wasn't
too expensive.
Very expensive at all. And unfortunately nowadays, mil-circ rifles aren't as available or cheap as they used to be. But on ATF's website, they go through, answer a bunch of questions, and also have the forms to print off, or you can request them mailed to you. But anybody can get one of those. If you can legally own a gun, you can get a CNR license. You just have to be careful because you can't do that and buy and sell. You have to really do it to collect. So it was cool because then I started buying Mosins, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. Is I did a bunch of unboxing videos, because when you buy a Curio and Relic online, most of the time you don't know what you're getting. It says, oh, we got a shipment of these rifles. Pick of the, it's the best pick. You could pay extra money to get like the best of 5, but realistically, you don't know what you're getting because they have so many. They're not going to post a picture of every single one, so it's luck of the draw, really. So I did a bunch of unboxing videos of different ones, and they got a lot of views. And then I started doing videos on how to clean the cosmoline off of there. And for those that don't know, cosmoline is just this preservative goo that they put all over the guns, like wood stock and everything, every metal part and everything, and it just keeps it from head to toe
rusting and everything.
Yep, keeps it from rusting. And usually they wrap that in like a paper and put it in stores, like those old military crates, like the Mosins came in. They just sent after the war. They sent them to the factory. They kind of refinished some of them, like replaced any broken parts, and then put them all in cosmoline, and then put them in these crates, and they just stored them in a warehouse for decades.
And then like, oh, what are we doing with those? And then eventually like, oh, we should just sell them.
Yeah, after so long, obviously they've adopted the AKs and stuff now, so they're, nobody's going to go to war with a Mosin Nagant unless you're in Red Dawn. 2012,
Yep.
they had a Mosin in there.
They did.
Yep.
They did.
So, and Walking Dead, not the Walking Dead, but the other spinoff.
Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yes, they had a Mosin in there too. But most people aren't going to go to war with these, so they started importing these into like the U.S. and made readily available for the public, and they're cool. I mean, are they modern and have all the bells and whistles? No, but they're a cool part of history. Not even the Mosin, like even the M1 Garands, which are really hard to find now. Classic. Got a shipment and still has some. I saw on their website of the M1 carbines. They're like $1,300 though, which is pretty pricey for M1. But if you have a CNR license, you can buy one, have it shipped to your house.
Hey.
But it's fun, and it's not as fun as it used to be because things are more expensive and not as readily available. I bought the one revolver I have now is a Nagant Revolver. It's a weird, I forget what the round was, something Nagant, but it's on it. It says it's made in 1912. It's pretty cool. Like, so this thing is like super old. Yeah. And it's just cool to have all these old guns, to see how they were made and what was actually used in wars back in the day. And it's like,
it's crazy.
If you feel the weight of a Mosin, it's like, God damn, these guys had to haul these things around. They only hold 5 rounds. It's a bolt action. It's like having to haul these around, and then the sights on them are terrible. Has a metal butt plate. Does not feel good when it kicks when you shoot it. So it's like, man, they had to use this stuff back in the day. Like, damn,
we're spoiled.
I know. And some of them, like especially the Chinese ones, will have like engravings or trench art on the stocks. That's pretty cool. So it's, if you guys like history and stuff,
want to get into it.
I mean, there's still military surplus guns out there. They're a lot more than they used to be, but it's something cool. And if you want to collect them, get you a CNR license, and then you don't have to go through a dealer.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Save a little money.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it saved me a ton of money, and I ended up, my wife got mad at me because we moved, and she had to carry all my Mosins and stuff. She's like, seriously, how many do you need? I'm like,
you had a whole bunch there for a while.
I'm like, well, I bought them when they were like, cheap as hell.
Yeah.
So, and I had to sell a couple. Actually, I had to sell quite a few for our wedding. I sold them through my dealer's license at that point, but I mean, the fact that they quadrupled in price helped me out.
Yeah.
So that is one cool thing about the Milsop rifles is they're never going to go down in value. They're only going to go up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you get the right one or get them at the right time, I think most of the right time is over now, but it's a good investment. Money. Yeah. Don't refinish them. Like,
oh yeah, I forget what show I was watching, but they're like, you refinished it? They're like, oh yeah, like you totally destroyed the value. Congratulations.
I learned that the hard way because when Mike and I got our very first one from Cabela's, we didn't know, so we got the cosmoline off. But then when you do that, the way we did it, we took all the finish off. So then we're like, hell, we sanded it all down, and then put on new stain and just a new clear coat, and it's basically we ruined the historical value of it. But that's fine. If you want to do that and just use it as a modern hunting gun or something, totally fine. Like, do that.
Didn't you take one and put like a polymer frame on one?
Yeah, I kept the wood stock.
Yeah,
but the company Archangel makes a polymer stock for it to where you can adjust like the butt stock and the cheek rise and everything. So I took the receiver that's attached to the barrel out of the wood stock that it comes in and put it in there, and which that's fine because then you take it out of the wood stock, so you're preserving that wood stock and just putting in a new one to go out and do whatever.
Yeah, because it was pretty cool. I remember you showed me that a long time ago, and I was like, man, that's a pretty sweet gun. Yeah,
I ended up selling that because I mean, they're cool guns, but they're not the funnest
practical
to shoot a bunch. They're super long barrel, and back then ammo was cheap for them. You used to be able to buy the old spam cams. So the one I bought, came in a crate. There was 2 spam cams that were, God, I think the ammo was from the 40s.
Jeez.
But as long as it's sealed,
Yeah.
it's good forever. And it came in a crate. 2 spam cams is awesome. Little freaking can opener that you had to use to open it up. And there was like a bunch of individual packets of, I think there were 440 rounds in each spam cam.
Dang.
Yeah. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff to collect. Milsurp stuff, especially from like World War II. Very popular. Awesome to collect. I had an M1 Garand through the business, and I kicked myself I sold it to my cousin down in Texas. Gave him a really good deal on it. I'm kicking myself. I'm like, man, I should have kept that. And I sold a M1 carbine to his buddy. But now I'm like, those prices have gone up. I should have just freaking kept those.
Yep.
But so yeah,
Woulda,
it's
coulda, shoulda.
something for anybody listening that is into military surplus guns and collecting them. Consider getting your Curio and Relics license.
That'd be pretty cool.
It is cool, because then if you see something, then it's like cool.
Yeah.
Buy it right then and there. You don't have to search for a FFL to ship it to, and yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I bought a lot of, and you can buy like old cheap guns, but most of them sucked. But it's still, I mean, there's some companies that make aftermarket parts for a lot of those. Like I know the God, I forget the name of this one, but it had a really like heavy trigger. Like a lot of people would think it was broken when they first, but then there's companies that make aftermarket parts for those. They make aftermarket parts, like I said, for the Mosins, like even springs and stuff for the triggers. There's a way you can mount scopes to the Mosins.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, but there's all sorts of stuff. But they're fun. If you do tend to refinish one, that's your main purpose is just refinish it and have it to shoot, and not for historical value. That's cool. I have a couple like that, but then the rest of them, I'm just going to clean them up and keep them as is.
Yeah. Nice.
And they're fun projects. Like I lived by myself in an apartment, had nothing to do, so I'm like, this is
Perfect.
something to do. So it was fun, and it's cool because it sucked not knowing what you were going to get, but it was kind of cool not knowing what you
like
were
a
going to get.
mystery
It's
box.
like a surprise. Yeah, you open it up and it's like cool, and then sometimes you're like, fuck, this thing's pitted to hell. But yeah, it's still fun.
Amazon. It's times what was that? Amazon mystery boxes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But with guns.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the milsurp market's dried up a lot. Prices have gone up, just like everything, but there's still some out there. Kind of fun. Who knows? Maybe they'll come down, but probably not. Yeah, I haven't been to Cabela's in a while.
I haven't been up there in a minute.
They used to have racks and racks of Mosins, but man, it's been years since I've seen any Mosins up there. And then you hear stories of people that are like, oh, they'd have buckets of those up at like, wherever for like $75, $40. It's like, yeah, because there were millions of them made.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I thought they would never be worth what they are now, but, a lot of people, they made millions and millions, so a lot of people didn't think they'd be worth anything and just kind of did whatever. Like Iraq veteran chopped one up and made it like a stumpy.
Oh yeah.
Like he did something funky to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think he cut the barrel off and made it like a short barrel Mosin or something.
yeah, he did something crazy to it. And then if you watch their podcast or a lot of their videos, they have a wall.
Yeah.
And a lot of his guns on his wall are old Milsurp rifles.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So yeah.
Need to do that, but with ARs.
Yeah. Like the collector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have rooms of guns.
This is the AR-15 room.
The AR-10.
You guys,
AR-10.
but you don't need
caliber.
ARs because they're bad.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
kidding. So yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I don't think so. Nothing.
Any questions on the CNR stuff or Milsurp?
No, not that I know of.
Crickets. Man.
Yeah.
It's probably a boring subject. I'm sorry.
No.
I liked it. It was fun.
I'd say old school military surplus. I mean, that's
If it would go back
It's
down
a-
in
it's a
price,
market.
it'll probably. Yeah, it is a market. Everyone,
it's a market.
Every time you
so-
go to a gun show, you always got that one guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between military surplus like weapons and then just military surplus
surplus and
clothes and
all
boots
that,
and crap.
yeah.
It's like you see those guys all the time at gun shows. It's like, and they always have the biggest booths. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, I know how much one table costs. How the hell do you have all these selling this crap?
Yeah.
And like, how are you even making any money?
Right.
Like some of the stuff's cool that they have, but a lot
Some
of it's
of it.
just, I don't know.
I'm not going to buy a pair of old pants or boots. Or,
I won't do boots ever. No one in the military, I'll never buy their boots.
Yeah.
Because
No.
usually they have some type of athlete's foot.
Nice. I never thought of that. So.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Clothing, though, I probably wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But because I know some of those like aviation jackets are pretty cool. And then,
Speaking of aviation jackets,
yeah.
you know, I think
going. I'm
all
going.
three of us have seen the movie except for your neighbor. You know that. Yeah.
Yep.
I think he needs to see it so we can all go.
Yep.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
by the way.
It's what, this weekend or next weekend?
It's
It's
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday.
You know what else I saw is coming out is a new Jurassic Park.
Yep. I'm going to go see that too.
Oh yeah. I think this is the last one, but they're bringing back
Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Like,
It's going to be
hell
awesome.
Yeah. I remember seeing the first one in theaters like 4 times when I was a kid.
We used to
It's
watch it all
awesome.
the time for your birthday.
Yeah, it's a freaking awesome show.
Yep.
And the fact that they kept making them, I'm like, hell yeah. And I like Chris Pratt in it. I don't know.
Mason's got into them. He's watched every single one of them. I don't know how many times. That and Ghostbusters.
Did you? Yeah.
You got to teach them right.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Finally, God, we've been waiting for Top Gun for 2 years. It's
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
been delayed.
Yep.
It better be good. I'm gonna be
Yep.
pissed if it sucks.
I've heard it is really good
I was
from a
gonna
couple
say
people.
all the critics have like given it really good. Like
Yeah. I was actually watching a thing yesterday on YouTube. It popped up. It was like 10 things you didn't know about the original Top Gun. And one of them was like when they're actually doing the fighting sections, like the dogfighting with the aircrafts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Top Gun only got 2 shots of a live missile to shoot. So what they did is they took multiple angles of those shots and then they just put them where they wanted to in the movie, and it was really only 2. I guess the Navy was actually questioning how many shots they actually fired and things like that because they thought you only had 2. How did they get all these shots and sequences and stuff?
Nice. Somebody was thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Now it's all freaking CGI.
Yeah.
So it's,
But back then they didn't
Yeah.
have it.
yeah.
And then they were talking about how how he went and birded, how that could never possibly ever happen, and that it was just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was like that was pretty cool.
Well, I see it in the trailer that he does it
Yeah,
to one of his,
yep,
I don't know, co-pilots.
yeah.
I'm excited for it. My wife doesn't like Tom Cruise. I mean, as a person, I probably don't know if I like him, but I like his
All the
movies.
movies are
I was gonna
good.
say, I don't know. I
you
like
don't have
his
to
movies.
like the person. To go
Days
see
of
the
Thunder,
movie.
Yeah,
Jack
he's
Reacher,
a little
Mission
guy with.
Impossible.
He's got little man syndrome, but his movies are good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not Telekinetic. I wanna say-
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Days of Thunder. Freaking, there's so many good movies that he's in.
Jack Reacher,
Yeah, there's
Mission Impossible.
There's one
Which
with
they're actually
Emily.
making a new Mission Impossible too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. The one with Emily Blunt, and it's like, it's a future war where he relives
Oh,
his life
yeah,
every
yeah.
day, and they got to try and like defeat this alien.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what it's called. It's really good, and it has Emily Blunt. She's
Yeah.
fucking hot.
Yeah, he's
That's
always
it.
got really good movies. I've never seen a bad Tom Cruise movie.
Mummy 4.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, neither have I.
He was like the mummy, and I was just like, "What is Tom Cruise doing in a mummy?
You can't have Tom Cruise as
Mummy,
No.
mummy
Mummy.
return movie? Like, what are you like? Huh?
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
That's okay.
The last Mummy I saw had Brendan Fraser in it.
that was
He's
a
always
whole long
in it.
time ago.
This is probably like the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one that's really worth watching.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because you see Tom Cruise, and he aged well for
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
him compared to a lot of his other Top Gun co-stars. But
Kilmer.
Brendan Fraser did not age well.
No, he did not.
Like he was like in Tarzan and stuff. Like he was young, fit, back in his the 90s.
Yeah, the prime.
But yeah, you look at him now, it's like, dang,
Yeah.
Well, I think for a while there he got blackballed from Hollywood,
did he?
Yeah, because he was.
and then
accusing
like
him
so
of,
I think he
like,
probably
assault or
just
something
probably
like
let
that.
himself go for a little bit,
Huh.
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Okay, you're okay now." And it's
Yeah,
like,
I guess there was a large gap where you really didn't see him in the 2000s.
yeah.
I guess later 2000s.
Because I think he got sexually assaulted or something like that, and he accused him of that. And then when that happened, they blackballed him.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's starting to pop up now, but he's definitely gained some weight and much older. Doesn't have his long hair that he was known for back then. But, you know, we all get old.
Get
it
old,
happens.
get that weight.
I'm not as skinny as I used to be.
I'm definitely not.
I'm not.
Well, cool. Well, anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming back this week, Nathan. We enjoyed having you. This was definitely some good whiskey.
Yeah.
It's been sitting in my globe back there since I've been like, man, I want to open it, but I can't. Gotta wait. That's why I'm like, Chris, when are we going to have your brother back? We have him back.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good. So
I was kind of hoping Hunter would be here so that, you know, we could talk about what we need to talk about. Our disc golf game.
Yep. And the fact that I hate Blue Valley now.
Yeah.
Hey, that
They made it harder.
they made it harder, but you can still go do the other one. That's fine.
But the people I play with aren't going to want to do that.
We could do every other hole.
Yeah. That could be a nice little mix up. I mean,
do
every other hole.
Because I started feeling really good about myself playing there at the original one where I could get around even, maybe a little over.
You can, but
The fact that I shot 22 over.
Well, it didn't help too. It was a real windy day.
Yeah. Like I even checked our score from the other, like when we played the week before. Like
we
there was at
tripled
least
almost.
the wind was tripled. It was actually a headwind rather than a tailwind. So I mean, it all makes a complete difference of wind speeds and in direction and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, well, you know, we've been talking about this competition between you guys and since the number 16, since you've been on, and it has yet to happen.
yeah, you know, and it's partly my work's fault. I'm gonna blame them because I can. Because see, I don't mind because I have Monday and Tuesdays off,
Right.
and you guys always have Saturday, Sunday off. And the way that he likes to play in the morning. I don't mind playing in the evening.
It's just going to be a little busier.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Yeah. Well, and you know, now that I would even wouldn't mind changing the venue to Blue Valley.
I don't.
I mean, maybe it'd just be like a me and him thing. I wouldn't.
You
mind.
might need Chris just to
No.
have that extra shot.
Yeah.
I want you to do Rosie just because you've been talking a mad game about how you are really good at Rosie.
I love Rosie.
I've never played Rosie.
It's amazing because it's like you start at one end and then you work your way all the way around, and it's one of those that you have some holes that it's completely open. Then you have some that you actually throw it through like a wooded area.
Mm-hmm.
It's really technical.
Kind of like Blue Valley
and Heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see it. I'm gonna go there to play, but mostly keep score. I'm just. You said it's gonna come down to the last hole.
Well, with the last time I went and played just by myself, I actually posted my best score ever, and that's.
But Hunter has been playing a lot of these like leagues and tournaments.
He has.
And if you are gonna beat him, pars
Aren't going to work.
aren't gonna do it.
I know pars aren't going to do it.
You're gonna
but
have to
birdie
pars,
once or
no
twice.
bogeys because
Yeah,
he.
I am the mayor of the Bogeyville.
Yeah, so it's. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And
It's fun.
if for you don't win Rosie, challenge him to Blue Valley the new way.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
don't think he's played it.
he hasn't yet. And I told him, I'm like, because he usually birdies quite a bit there. And I'm like, dude, you're probably gonna be more par, maybe bogey.
Yeah.
He'll probably be par in a lot of them, but definitely it's
a lot more technical and
a lot harder to get.
A lot of it's you're
birdies.
changing your approach to like how you're doing things.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
The fact that like you have to get it through like this small little opening through the woods.
Yep.
Far back, that just it's like
I'm gonna say seven. Seven is the one that I'm like that. I was like, I don't like this change.
Yeah.
But eight, I like eight,
eight's
where you
pretty
start
cool.
off in the woods and then you throw it.
That's the one
I
that's
love that one.
you gotta
Yep.
yeah.
I love that one a lot.
You gotta thread the needle on that one.
I gotta get better at my forehand.
Just go to an open field.
One day.
It's been
One
raining.
day.
I know.
I haven't been able to. I want to.
Yeah.
I was putting in Hunter's backyard before we went and played last, and ended up getting a different putter, but it's just been raining now, and of course the ground's gonna be so muddy for a while. It's gonna be a hot minute, but we'll see.
Couple 80-degree days, and it'll dry up.
It'll
pretty
dry
good.
right up.
Well, we appreciate you coming back,
I appreciate y'all having me back.
and if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us if you're listening on all those other audio only platforms. Hit that follow button. Also check out Shotgun Studio. It's our second channel I got. Do a bunch of the reviews. I'm doing reviews on all this microphone stuff, so trying to get that channel up and going, since I can't really monetize anything on Boomstick because YouTube doesn't like guns.
Yep.
So
Darn YouTube.
I know, but well, we appreciate you guys watching. Next week, I forgot to mention this. Next week we're doing a live stream, number 25, since it's kind of like a
Quarter of the century old.
yeah. Since it's
Cornerstone.
a good mark, we're gonna do a live stream. So it's probably gonna be a live stream on Friday.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I told Hunter, so we're gonna live stream on Friday. So it's not gonna come out at 8:00 a.m. like they usually do. Most people probably don't watch it that early anyway. But so yeah, check out for a live stream. I'll post something on YouTube and Facebook and wherever that we're doing the live stream. If you want to join and are able to ask us questions, we can talk back and forth, stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool. We tried that once. It worked.
Yeah.
We had Nathan asking us questions and stuff. It's fun. It's just cool. There's a little bit of a delay. I think we counted, a 24-second delay.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about something and you comment, we don't see that comment until 24 seconds later. So I don't know if there's a way to fix that. I'll find out. I don't think so, but yeah. I think we got it to where no hiccups will happen. I think we've been doing this long enough. We should be good. And I'll be able to monitor the comments while you guys talk. Ask us any questions you want to, and then we'll have a topic that we are obviously going to talk about, but more of an open Q&A thing.
Be fun. Have your questions ready.
Yeah, I like the live
I
streams.
will.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I like
I'll
live
definitely bring the questions.
Live streams are fun. So yeah, tune in for that. Probably 7:30ish. We'll narrow the time down, but definitely in the evening, so that way people are off work and
Can
they want to
actually
join.
listen.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't listen, you can watch the replay.
Yeah.
So
And always leave a comment on YouTube, and we can maybe address it.
yeah. Like I said, anything at the beginning of this podcast, if you want to talk about,
Yeah.
hit us up down in the comment section or chat or whatever.
Yep.
We're here to talk. So cool. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next Friday for the live stream. Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.